What is going on, guys? It is your boy Torque Crunch, and in today's video we've got a very special video that was highly requested by you guys. So recently I've been doing the comparison videos. I've been kind of spamming you with them, but the reason I'm doing that is because you guys are enjoying them. A lot of you were requesting for a comparison between Tensa and Ichigo, so here it is, man. I'm working hard for you guys. I hope you guys really do enjoy. I did take quite a bit on this one. I just wanted to get every angle for both of them, just to break them down a bit. And you guys, if you have both of them, just to help you out on deciding what you would like to do or how you would like to use them. Anyways, if you have any recommendations or if you want to see any comparisons, trust me, I have a bunch of them in mind that I am working on, but you guys just keep letting me know, because a couple of those that you guys have been mentioning have surprised me, but then it makes sense after I think about it. So yeah, anyways, just comment. Anyways, I hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at Fullbring Ichigo while there's some gameplay going off in the background. So first of all, let's go ahead and take a look at his attribute and killer and soul trait. So it is a technique form, of course, which is green, and he has an advantage over speed characters and a disadvantage over power characters. His killer effect is 20% additional damage on hollows, and his soul trait is strong attack damage plus 20%. This character has pretty good soul trait, pretty good killer effect. That's one thing we'll talk a little bit more about, is his killer effect. I do believe Tensa has slightly better killer effect, but that's basically it. Other than that, they're basically the same thing, except for, of course, Tensa does have recharge time. His stats are 995 stamina, 638 attack, defense 361, focus 325, and spiritual pressure at 721, which is really up there, I think second highest in the game, right behind Tensa. If not, they're up there at least in the top 5. Skills that Fullbring Ichigo does have are Flash Step, Long Reach plus 20, Bruiser plus 40%, Frenzy, Devastation plus 40% damage on his special, and then weaken attack. So I mean, pretty nice skills. Of course, Frenzy the best one out of them all, but Bruiser, an additional 40% on his attack, is obviously a really nice increase. So you know, although 638 isn't the highest attack, that Bruiser I believe is the biggest increase you can get. Also, the best build for Ichigo, I have to go with strong attack damage or recharge time. It's depending. Obviously in PvP, strong attack damage is the way to go. This character is really cool, man. He's been out for a couple months now, and he's stayed as one of the top characters. He has not moved from ranking, you know, he's up there. His third strong attack is a full screen, which makes it so good, and it's a 2 or 3 wave attack, which hits 2 or 3 times ×2 because of Frenzy. His second strong attack is one of my more favorite strong attacks in the game. He does this thing where it just gets so much range. It's so freaking powerful. And then of course, first one is going to be like a lunge. But yeah, this character is quite strong. Very good character, very good stats and skills. So now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at Tensa, and this character is also technique, just like Fullbring Ichigo. He does have a different killer effect, which is plus 20 damage on Soul Reapers, so a slightly better one. There's more Soul Reapers in the games than Hollows. His soul trait is 12% recharge time. So right off the bat, that's a good and a bad thing. So I think it's slightly better for PvE, that soul trait, but not too great for PvP. His stats are 988, attack 632, defense 352, focus 330, and spiritual pressure at 728. So this character comes in beating Fullbring Ichigo with slightly more spiritual pressure and focus. Fullbring Ichigo does have better stamina and attack and defense, but it's such a small amount that it really isn't that big of a deal. You can't tell the difference. His skills are Flash Step, Long Reach plus 20%, Bruiser plus 30%, Devastation plus 30%, and Frenzy. So he has about the same skills, just not as great increases. For example, Fullbring Ichigo has 40% additional damage through Bruiser and also Devastation. Fullbring Ichigo has a 40% increase and Tensa only has a 30%. So, you know, he doesn't have those great of upgrades through skills. And the best build, I would have to go with a strong attack damage or a recharge time, depending on what you're doing. Obviously, if you're doing PvP, go with strong attack damage. PvE though, you can really stack up that recharge time to where it could cut the strong attacks in half and you could just spam all the strong attacks. And this character, same thing as Fullbring Ichigo, has great strong attacks. They're very similar, if anything. His first one, of course, he lunges at the enemies. Second one is not quite the same as Fullbring's. Instead of like, Fullbring's is more of like just a straight shot, while Tensa's gets a little bit of a bomb in front of him. So it gets a wider range, I would say, for Tensa for the second strong attack, but Fullbring Ichigo gets more long range. But also his third strong attack is a full screen double wave strong attack, which is crazy. You know, adding frenzy to it just makes it so cool. So yeah, this character is awesome. Both of them are awesome, actually. Alright, boys and girls, we're about to go ahead and get into some PvP. I want to just go ahead and straight up tell you what I've got on them. Fullbring Ichigo and Tensa, we've got as much stamina and a little bit of spiritual pressure as we can, with some damage reduction links. And as you guys see, this first one we're going up against is with Tensa, Fullbring, Kenny, and Yoruichi. And Yoruichi always gives me the biggest problems. Of course, you know, especially since we have two techniques, we try to avoid her at all, you know, at all possible, because she's just a very good Fullbring and Tensa killer. But yeah, the builds are stamina, spiritual pressure, and damage reduction. That's what we're going for. This right here is a really good run. You guys will see Tensa and Fullbring Ichigo going in and putting in some work together. They team up and take out basically the full team. Yeah, I mean, look, when looking at these two characters in the PvP aspect, Fullbring Ichigo is going to have the slight edge. I just think because of his link, of course, he gets the 20% damage increase. It really does make a difference, just because that right there will be, you know, the 20% might be the difference between winning and losing one. This last one, we're going up against Yoruichi, Tensa, and Kenny. And I think we do pretty good work here. I think we go ahead and win this pretty fast. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the pros and cons for both Fullbring Ichigo and Tensa. So let's go ahead and just start off with Fullbring Ichigo. So the first pro I went ahead and put in, of course, Frenzy. His strong attacks are going to be hitting double, on top of already having a few strong attacks that hit double. So that sounded a little confusing. What that means is, for example, his third strong attack has 2 waves. What that means is it hits twice, and then you add the Frenzy in there. It's essentially you're hitting the enemy 4 times, which adds up to a lot of damage because each hit hits for like 3 or 4k. Another pro about Fullbring Ichigo is that his normal attack string is super fast. I don't think he has adrenaline or anything, but he's just a very fast character. Another one is crowd control. His strong attacks are really good for just controlling the crowds of enemies, especially that third. The first one, of course, he lunges at the enemy, which isn't the greatest, but his second and third are definitely really good ones. His third strong attack is also a full screen, so that's why I went ahead and listed it as a pro, because that is a big time benefit of, you know, just for any character to have a third strong attack or any strong attack that has a full screen. And then of course another one is that his special does weaken the enemy. He does weaken enemy, which is going to be helpful. Cons, I did say that his normal attack string is really good and fast. The one thing about it though is that he does kind of move towards the enemy a little too much, where it can get a little dangerous. That's the one thing I found about him that might be a struggle at first. You just got to get a feel for him. It's not like a big time thing that's gonna bring him down. He's still great. It's just I do notice that he kind of tends to move towards the enemy or just in front of him when he's using his normal attack. And now we're going to go ahead and do Tensa. So of course we've put in Frenzy just like Fullbring Ichigo. They're very similar when it comes to their strong attacks. So of course, since Fullbring Ichigo gets that as a pro, he's also going to get it. The one thing about Tensa is that he gets to spam his strong attacks, which is a little bit better, I would say, just because, you know, when you get Frenzy, if you can spam your strong attacks, you're putting in more output, damage output. Another thing I went ahead and put is fast normal attack string, just like Fullbring Ichigo. Man, these characters are just alike. They were naturally put in the game as super fast characters. Another thing, of course, crowd control. Strong attacks are just about the same as Fullbring Ichigo, so he's gonna have the third with you know, the full screen, which is also a pro. And then of course the second one, I think it's a little bit better than Fullbring Ichigo's. I think Fullbring Ichigo's looks cooler, but Tensa's is a little more helpful because it gets wider range and it's all in front of him. And a couple of cons for Tensa are that his special is a little weak. I tend to find myself using his special and not really doing any kind of damage, as well with his normal attack string. I do think his normal attack damage isn't that great. The bruiser being 30% compared to Fullbring Ichigo's 40 is actually quite noticeable, and I usually don't seem to find like something like that small of a difference you know, impact a character, but I do seem to not have as really great of a time using my normal attack damage with Tensa. I mean, it's not to the point where he's not usable, so I mean, at least you got that. And of course, you know, if you've got recharge time on him, you're not really going to be using your normal attack because you're going to be spamming your strong attacks. But that is it. I put Fullbring Ichigo as best fit for PvE and PvP just because he's so good. He's a little more versatile than Tensa. Tensa, I say, is a really good fit for PvE. I think maybe even a little bit better than Fullbring Ichigo, but I will say Fullbring Ichigo is much better for PvP. That's not saying Tensa isn't the greatest at PvP, but if you had to choose between the two, I would roll with Fullbring Ichigo being your PvP character. Anyways, that is the end of the comparison between these two. Let me know in the comments who you think is a little bit better than the other. It's very close, so you know, if you're gonna comment that Fullbring Ichigo is by far the better one out of the two, I think you need to reconsider, because Tensa is quite good and so is vice versa. So just let me know in the comments who you think is the better one out of the two. Also, let me know who you'd like me to compare next. I'm doing these videos because you guys seem to enjoy it. If you did enjoy this, please slap the like button. It shows, and you guys have been doing that, so I will be bringing more. So just give me your suggestions, and with that said, thank you for your time. Take care. Peace.